it was really refreshing to see that. I mean, what can you say? So, thanks everyone for watching so far and sticking with us. We're going to quickly now go through the, as it's past 10 o'clock, we are going to go through the current pairings for the new round, anything interesting from the previous rounds, group by group. So let me just...
Well, yeah, just quickly pulling up. LA's errata was definitely needed. It was completely insane how much those decks were controlling the meta.
Yeah.
But bait and switch needed the nerf, especially considering how much damage it was doing. I think ransack is the way bait and switch should have originally been. I like ransack.
Maybe.
It's controversial, but ransack is a more controllable bait and switch.
Yeah, it's controllable. Right, just because, as ever, at this point, I'm quite keen to go to bed. Starship Looters Brognar are still top of the pack here, 5 games. So this week, Starship Looters played SCS Sharks, beat them 2-1. And so they're 5 match wins, 12 games in, 40 keys. I mean, what can you say to that? I mean...
With the fact that the 5 matches wins in basically means that even they have to lose both of their remaining games in order to
given that
in order to not instantly qualify.
It'll be hard to work it out, to be clear, but yeah, I think that is probably true. So the other thing is the games I'm most interested in this week would be Bray Games LV, who we just saw the feature game, versus Keyforce Granada, second and third place playing off. I mean, that's going to be very interesting to see. And SCS Sharks have the bye this week, given their third win.
Starship Looters versus the Crucible University, because the Crucible University need this win in order to keep in the running to qualify. So although they're against the top of the group, we saw them there. They're very good players, and that would be a hell of a game because I think they want to qualify for the top cut, and they've been coming at the Starship Looters at full force.
Oh god, yeah. So moving on to this here. So, not finished with your mute, one of our Italian teams is top of the pile here with 4 match wins, 12 games. Hammer Glancy ones are, well, not finished with your Mammoth, sorry, are top because they had the bye this week. Apologies. Top of the group really is Hammer Galantians 1. They are equal first with Imperium. And you see the new side pot we put in for the KFPT, Keyforge Portugal's teams. So there was a new side pot that is generated. I'll just pull that quickly. So, anyone else want their own side pots? Just let me know.
For that group, Amber Minimum and Hamburg Atlanteans 1 would be a hell of a game to keep an eye on.
They're equal first.
They're both equal top of the group.
I mean,
that's really going to set the front runner for what we got.
I mean, so not finished, and CQ Needles have the drop. So, yeah, I think that would be the game to watch. This one, Beer Forge. Let's be here though. Beer Forge is actually far behind. 1 game and 5 keys. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays through.
I think my next week recorded game will come out of Group Disc, because I don't think I've actually done Group Disc yet.
No, it makes sense. So here we have the Inspire group. The Russian Smiths had the bye this week, giving them probably making the top of the table with 6 match wins.
Yeah,
but
they messaged me earlier this week, basically saying that there's pretty much no way they can't come top of their group at this point.
Correct. There is no way they can knock on top of the group.
So they are our first guaranteed top 32 participant, because they've won every single round, pretty much.
3-0.
3-0.
3-0. 2-1. 2-1. 3-0. So yeah, they've had a good time here. Should we say they beat our current only double champions 3-0. So that's gonna be interesting to see. And in terms of the games this week,
we actually saw them on stream against the Vietnamese Cons where they went 2-1. It was
it's a really good game. Yeah. So in terms of this week, there's not an awful lot to choose from because there was one team drops. So I would probably say the Vietnamese Cons versus Team Mavericks is probably the game I would be looking for this week.
That'll be the one I'll be looking at as well.
Logos. So now that's all the drop teams now done. Madrid Archons are right here at the top, 4 match wins. And I mean, Madrid Archons 3-0 versus SCS Steelers. Lost to Crazy Killing Aubergine, who are down here. But I mean, Madrid Archons, I expect to see them get through this and top load. I mean, they are playing the French Keys this week, which will be an interesting game to see. But second place here, look, you have 3 teams equal second.
It's definitely a close one. This is going to be one hell of a game. And for me, the game to keep an eye on for me, even though they're second to bottom of their group, would be Peter, Stephen, and Madame taking on Hamburg Atlanteans 2.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how Hamburg Atlanteans 2 have done. They've done French Keys 3-0, 2-1 to SCS Steelers. 2-1 to Crazy Killing Aubergine, 2-1.
It's still a very close game. If they win 3-0 the remaining 2 games, there's still a chance they could jump up into that 3rd or 4th spot.
It would be impressive, but yes, there is a chance, definitely. Moving on to Mars. French Imps are at the top of the pile, with Baguette and Switch being 1 game behind. I mean, that's still ridiculously close. I mean, Baguette and Switch, have they played French Imps yet? Yeah, so Baguette and Switch beat French Imps a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, in terms of games this week that it's interesting to see, probably So Salty.
Baguette and Switch.
Oh, Iberian Generosity. Yeah, sorry, of course, I missed that one. Yeah, so that would be
that would be one hell of a game.
Yeah. So we're going to move on now to Sanctum. Manchester Mavericks A, top of the pile, 13 game wins with 15 games. They will be paying Can't Touch This, the Wolfpack, who were top of the pile not long ago. So that will be interesting to see. Team Zolta Grunt Buggies are 3-match wins, but somehow still second to bottom, but they're doing well. So in this group again, it still could be anyone's, apart from probably not Team Invictus. I mean,
the game here to definitely watch is Manchester Maverick A taking on the Wolfpack.
Actually, I'm going to challenge that and say Team Exalted Grunt Buggies versus Team Invictus.
That would definitely be interesting, but this one would define the top of the group, and that to me is a lot more impactful.
Yeah,
because you got to think this round, the most competitive teams are going to be looking at the top 3, and then basically when this round's ended, looking at these scores and going, okay, what's my in condition here? What teams have to lose by how much in this final round for me to have that chance to make the top 32?
And I think seeing Team Exalted Grunt Buddies coming up the table there will put many people off. But let's wait and see. So into the Saurians, we have 5 match wins for the reigning champions. Can't Touch This, the Aces. We have Bellical Kote coming in second, our other Italian team, on 4 match wins, 1 game and 3 keys ahead of MTP Sparks. Though MTP Sparks are here with what's the word? Have come through the bye this time. This is going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know which one I would pick this time. Probably. What am I saying? Aces versus Kote. That's no competition. Yeah, definitely. No conversation.
Aces versus Kote are going to be definitely one of them. And it's a shame to see the Sparks because I mean, two of our games went unplayed last week, so the Sparks could have been a bit higher. Or we could have got a bit higher up the table. It's just a shame that life gets in the way for that.
So someone on the chat has suggested we do a side pot for teams where this is their first event. I could probably put that together fairly quickly. I haven't played. I hadn't thought that's a good idea. So here we see KIP and Felching Welshman both top of the table, and they are playing each other this week.
Ooh.
That's going to be very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
So I think we need to discuss on which match to watch here. But yeah, that would be good to see. Skyborn, so our international group.
Yes.
New York City's top of the pile. Great to see these guys coming here on top. They've always been great players.
They're cute, just right behind them.
Well, not right. 2 matches, but difference. I mean, I would go as far as saying I don't think New York City. The only way New York City can lose now is by losing all the remaining games. Otherwise,
you've got they're up against the Final Swindle, and they have been tearing it up themselves during this event as well.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at it, they're 2 matches ahead. They've got I think.
And big shout out to Strange Gizmos. I mean, they took out Five Eyes Classified last week.
Wow.
Up against No Kanga Fans in Austria too, and they are. This is a very close group.
For second place, yeah.
The second and third places is a very close group. And this actually has our featured game in it, which is Cute taking on Five Eyes Classified, which one game has already taken place.
By prior approval because of trips, holiday vacations and trips and begging.
One of the captains was going on holiday later this week, so needed to play their game in advance.
So moving on to Star Alliance. Sloppy Lab Work, top of the pile, previous Kote champion again. They're from Kote 5 champions, I believe. Team Kotzina second place with only 4 match wins. Who beat Team Kotzina? APR, the old Paddies. So have they actually played Sloppy Lab Work yet? Oh, that's going to be interesting. Next week it will be Team Kotzina versus Sloppy Lab Work.
Ooh. My head even went Ambion versus Beerforge, but Team Kotzina taking on Sloppy Lab Work could be very interesting.
Let's see how it goes out this way. But Team Kotzina versus not much to Tenet this week.
As much as I love having all these new teams in here, it is good to see. I'm really finding it heartwarming to see a lot of our top contenders claiming the top of the table.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many previous coats at the moment where everybody was bringing their best decks. It was all like just monstrous decks smashing into each other. And it's good to see how much people are having fun playing lower SAS decks, and seeing that for a lot of the teams, no matter what they're playing, they're winning.
And also, how many people are regretting selling their low SAS decks?
Oh, definitely.
So, once again, we come across to this weird anomaly here. This anomaly that every time I see this fact, I think something's wrong with my code and I have to double check.
I think you just paid them all off.
I lost every single game I've played this event, yet I'm here second. So, big shouts out to the other members of Hypno Key Frauds. I'm an honorary Singaporean for this event. With one exception, they've won every game. Lickle have the bye this week. So I
was going to say, I don't think Lickle can actually not qualify in first place.
Well, I don't think Lickle have lost. Just trying to think who they're playing next week. No, you're right.
Yeah, they've won all their matches. They're 4 games ahead, and 12 keys ahead. I don't think there's a way they can't qualify as well.
Well, they won't be first because potentially my team could win all the 6 remaining matches, 6 remaining games, or D20B could win all the remaining 6 games.
Yeah. Well, who are you up against?
D20B.
So yeah, basically it comes down to who wins here, and then whoever Lickle's taking. Have Lickle played you yet?
Yes, they're the only one to beat us.
And
so they kicked our ass.
It all comes down to round 7, but Lickle are essentially contenders for the top of the group.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect them to be top of the group, to be honest.
There's no way they can't qualify for top, essentially. They'll either be second or first.
I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I haven't worked out how they could do it. But yeah. So remember, we don't take all second places. We only take the highest 8 scores.
But they've still got the chance to qualify through the actual qualifiers.
As well, yeah. So we fully expect to see them in Top Cup. This week's game, I hate to say, is going to be my game because it's second and third playing off with such a similar score here, 1 game ahead. As I said,
I think the majority of weeks it's been your game, just because you're expecting to lose at some point.
I lose every week. Thank you very much. And so thank you again for my team for not shooting me in the head so far. And finally, we come to Reap Out, top of the group versus Control the Week, who are second with a game and 2 keys behind. And this week, Reap Out are playing Control the Week. So this will be a great game to see.
Definitely.
So
we really need to get more people in the community recording these games because because it's round robin, there are so many games here that people would love to see.
So if you ignore my bad spelling, as I have on this page, as I just wrote out, I spelled Malaysia wrong. This is the other side pot we've created today, which we've added in all the Vietnamese, Malaysian, and Indonesian teams together to have a little bit of local rivalry. The suggestion to add a side pot for all first-time Kote entries, I will look into that. It should take me like 5 minutes if I got it all coded correctly. So I will look into that today.
if you want your countries or regions to have their own side pot as well, just let us know, because it's quite interesting to get. So we've got AFK, we've got
KFPT.
I don't think we have enough UK teams for it to be worth it, but
We probably do, but I'm gonna wait to the request is there. It's German and US, the other ones. So this is the super secret standings page, which you can only get to if you look at what I type in. And this is very much for the admins here. This is not to be taken literally, because we don't factor in tiebreakers at the moment.
This is just like for us to make our little predictions. That's how we knew that the Russian Smiths were essentially guaranteed to qualify, because they are currently just ridiculously high in keys, game wins, so the score is the highest.
So the only thing to put out here is what I've added in this week is we have actually the playoffs of if the event ended today, this is what the playoffs would be. Now again, this ignores tiebreakers, and tiebreakers will need to be factors in. But here you can see that we will have whoever wins Logos will be playing. Whoever is the highest from Logos who doesn't qualify will be playing the second highest from Shadows who doesn't qualify, and so on. So here you can see that this is where the pairings will be. This is the automatic qualify for second place, the second playoff, and then everyone else will be the loser of the second playoff, and third players will be here. So this is just a way of bringing this all together, and I will probably make this page live once we finish the group stages for everyone to see the standard and lock it into the group results, so no higher than that. So if we look at the nationalities though, and I say this very carefully, I don't think we've ever had so many American teams in the top.
No, they've really brought it. Really brought it this time. But
I mean,
also
the group stages do factor in there, but
yeah, that's just it. Usually we've got 1 or 2 groups for the American teams. I think this time we've got 3 or 4 with a couple of them in the international groups as well.
Yeah, and all of the Italian teams are in auto-qualified positioning at the moment.
Well, I mean, the Italian community is one of the most competitive ones out there. It kind of makes sense.
And all of the Singaporean and Latvian teams are also qualified. And all of the Spanish teams, pure Spanish teams, are auto-qualified. So, okay, maybe there's not a huge number of them. Oh, no, wait, there's another Spanish team. Sorry, Jose and Keith Granada, I forgot about you guys.
We've got that one lone UK team in there?
I thought there was 2.
Auto-qualified?
Oh, no, yeah, 1. Manchester Mavericks A. I'm fairly sure they're going to make it through. But 2 weeks to go. But yeah, but that's in fact how are they done so far?
No, I believe Manchester Maverick A have got Team Exalted, Grunt Buggies next week.
Or this week. But awesome.
No, next week.
Next week. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that in week 7 it's Manchester Maverick A taking on Exalted Grunt Buggies, and Maverick B taking on Exalted Error.
Which makes sense. That's a nice tie together. Well, that's it for this week. We're going to finish like 40 minutes earlier than normal, which is brilliant because we're finally not breaking the 2-hour mark, which we never want to break. But thanks everyone for watching. It's nice to see some of you here today. Stay safe, keep on forging, and we'll speak to you next week. Good luck with your games.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.